All right, folks, so we are back live here at the finals of the APA 8-Ball World Championship. Took a brief break there in between matches. We'll now come back with the 5th and final match of this grand finale of the World Pool Championships. Got a very tight match here. 6-5 in terms of the team points. The team from Evansville currently leading 6-5, but essentially, folks, it's going to come down to this last match. The winner of this last match will determine the winner of the team match here. So as we kind of prepare for this 5th and final match, the teams have posted their players. It looks like, as suspected, the team from Louisiana, Make It Work, has posted Jeremy Bruno, skill level 4. And Believe the Hype from Evansville has opted to throw team captain Brian Payne, skill level 6. And you are seeing them here prepare for the lag. Brian in the black shirt. Jeremy in the gray shirt. Brian has won the lag and will have the break. Again, Brian is a 6, Jeremy is a 4, which means we're looking at a 5-3 race here. Brian needing to get to 5 games before Jeremy can get to 3 games. It's been a wild ride here so far, folks, and it all comes down to this last match. $25,000 on the line. Probably more importantly, the championship trophy.
It's like we mentioned yesterday, the money is nice, but you can spend that.
Title lasts
forever.
Right.
That's bragging rights. Come on, that's
Sure.
what's most important.
Forever
Sure.
and ever.
Money will come and go. Titles, you get to hold on to those. All right. So our floor manager, Joe Bond, one of our league operators volunteering for this event, preparing, waiting for the signal here from the production team for the break. Want to make sure we can bring you all of the action here in this final, very important final match. Players can now have been given the signal to go ahead and break. Brian Payne will do one last chalking of the stick. And he breaks the balls and starts with a scratch in the side pocket.
Not the way you want to start. I believe what? One stripe went on the break, I believe, right? That's it.
I'm not sure. Yeah, one stripe, and then of course he scratched in the side there. So table's still open. Jeremy will shoot behind the head string. Looks like he's got his sights on
14 ball, I would
14.
think.
No,
No, he went
opts for the solids. He takes the 3 ball in the corner.
Not exactly
Yeah, I don't think
what
he's
he was
thrilled with
looking for.
where
No.
he left himself there, but the referee's gonna come to the table and watch the hit to make sure it's clean.
You can't tell on the screen there, but he really jacked up on that, and it was called good shot. But he has opened the table wide open here for Brian. I don't see anything major. There's a couple balls on the cushion there, but where the one ball landed conveniently to stop. Kind of a knocked in the way there. Would stop the 14 from being able to go unless he can make it off the 5 in the side here.
So Brian returns to the table. Brian, the team captain for the Believe the Hype team from Evansville.
Yeah, I got that in the side. Off the 5. And now everything is at least attainable. Not super easy because of where the 15 and the 14 are there on the rail. Or maybe 10 ball. What is that, the 12 ball? 12 ball, I think.
On the rail ahead of the 15 ball.
Yeah, it's one of those strike balls, right?
I think it's the
Can't say.
I think it's the 14. I think he pocketed the 12 on that last shot.
All right.
Getting a little tough to see from our actual vantage point. We're a little offset from the table here in the championship arena. Looks like Brian's shirt, I just noticed, Believe the Hype, right? Shirt says Believe the Hype. Team name is Believe the Hype.
That's right. I think the rest of his team forgot their team shirts at home.
Well, maybe they're just dirty by now. It's been a long event, right? I always wonder that with some of the team shirts, and I'm thinking,
How many days did they
Yeah,
wear
maybe-
that?
yeah, maybe you wanna,
days, like,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I would think-
Appreciate the camaraderie, but the smell, you know, would be good.
That's
It's
true.
an important factor too. And
Yeah, most teams, I guess, would have one shirt, maybe two, possibly per team.
Right.
But when you hang in there for a week, yeah,
Right. Not to mention the sweating the
Nice shot.
matches, so to speak, right?
Ladies are probably a little bit more adept at that woolite in the sink than the guys
oh
are.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know
You
what
gotta
that
have-
means.
you gotta
I'm like,
have-
what? Will I?
Wait, you don't have the woolite in
No,
your suitcase?
no,
That's
no.
an automatic. All right. He looks like he's straight on enough to where he might be able to just tap this and hold the cue ball there without having to do anything fancy with the cue ball. Yeah, just drift it down a little bit, and he should be on the board here unless something
Brian
unforeseen
opts
happens.
to shoot with that that bridge glove that we see occasionally.
I
Talked a
don't
little
like
about
them.
that yesterday. Yeah, you talked about how you don't do it.
Mm-mm.
Like to have the feel of the cue and the felt
Yeah.
and everything.
Then it's, you know, I can feel what kind of pressure I have. Yeah, I just feels
Right.
more. I guess it's what you get used to. But my hands don't sweat a lot either. If your hands sweat a lot, it's great as opposed to using a lot of powder and stuff that can gum up and get on the balls
Right.
and in the cloth and actually affect the game.
Not sure I'm clear on what's being asked there.
I think they're asking about how far out we have to play this, and if I'm not mistaken, we just talked about this on the break. We've got to play this all the way out.
Got to go the distance.
Yeah, I mean, it could end up 7
Could
to
potentially end 7-7, but that would mean the would come down to the match win. So, which
'Cause-
is right now tied 2-2. So, these players are going to play this out. And Brian there makes quick work of that particular rack, takes that important 1-0 lead in what is a race to 5 for him. Now needing only 4 games to Jeremy's 3. Yes, Joel Powell Sr., the winner of this match, wins the overall match. You see Jeremy preparing the rack here. Brian back at the head of the table, positioning the cue ball, preparing to break.
Took a little bit off that break and failed to make anything there. See what Jeremy can make happen here. It's kind of a not majorly messy, but just the mere fact that the balls are all kind of in one area makes a run out tougher. Again, we haven't really seen Brian at the table, so I mean Jeremy at
Jeremy,
the table,
yeah.
so see what he's got to offer here. And
Well, we saw a lot of his dad in the last match, which
Yeah, we
was pretty
sure
impressive.
did.
So we'll see if any of it has rubbed off on Jeremy. That's a nice comment. Mitch, you're right about that. 10 days is long, but yeah, go home to a new baby. It's going to be a little bit longer. Of course, we talked about that a little earlier, but my wife Katie, who actually works for APA,
Katie's
back
actually
home.
Katie's actually responsible for the planning and organizing of this
She
particular
is.
competition.
She is, and it's tough for her to not be able to come out. But of course, she currently about 8 3/4 months pregnant. So Wednesday we expect to welcome our son in the world. And knock on wood, I think I have successfully made it through the 10-day trip. But
I think it's suspicious timing, personally. You know, think about it. Like, it's not like you didn't know there was going to be a world championship in August here. So, you know.
well, I will say we knew there were certain windows, and we we
Katie,
got through the window.
Katie said
Barely.
Jason looked at her and said, "Now, how did that happen?" And she said, "Really?"
Yeah, so it'll be a whole different adventure when we get back to St. Louis.
2 is quite different than 1.
Yeah, well, at least
You're
we
now
got a little
even.
experience under our belt,
Yes,
right?
but now you're even.
Yeah,
It's 1-on-1.
yeah. I've got a house full of ladies, my daughter and even our puppy, all female household. So we're evening it out. Back to the action here on the table. Brian Payne. Getting a lot of congestion down in that bottom half of the table.
It is so great how far technology has come, though, to be able to. I mean, that's one great thing with Facebook, to be able to do this live stream like
Sure.
this. It's not simple. I mean, you guys have some great equipment here to be able to do this, but the fact that you can just do this, and also we did that at our local championship, and just kind of held up a camera and showed the very end of the
Right.
match. And people,
Mhm.
quite a few people tuned in. It used to just be ESPN. I mean, we still have one ESPN event going on. We have the men's, the women's, and the trick shots.
Mhm.
And then I'll be playing against the Texas Tornado here coming up on for the
Vivian,
Hall of
huh?
Fame Challenge.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
And it was postponed because we lost the location apparently, but it looks like it's back on again. It's going to be in September, probably aired, you know, about a month later. So there's still some television, some pro events on TV. But now that you can do this, and actually you can root your friends on from home
Mhm.
in league play, that's pretty awesome.
Well, you know you're getting close to the end. You got kind of a star-studded lineup now here at the broadcast table. I see Florian Kohler, known as Venom, has made his way in down towards the end with his wife Ayana, coming to check out this last match of the championship. Of course, we've got Ava here, and looks like Dr. Q has hung around. So everybody anxious to see what the outcome here is in this last match of the World Pool Championships.
It's very convenient for Florian. He lives out here in
Yeah,
Las
he's a
Vegas.
Vegas
First I
resident.
was going. I didn't know he was still here, but then I
Right.
remember obviously
Yeah,
he lives here.
lives
So
right down the road. Jeremy here at the table. Pockets the 1 ball in the corner. That event you're talking about with Vivian, is that the Tornado Open? Is that the
no,
one?
this is the Hall of Fame Challenge. That's on ESPN. The Tornado Open is going to be about a month later
Okay.
at the Hard Rock Casino in.
Down in
in,
Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, right?
Hollywood,
Man,
yeah.
what a great place that is. Of course, we've
Yeah.
been there a few times
Hollywood's great.
for the WPBA when they had the classic
Yeah.
tour that went through there.
We got
Great
some
facility.
got some watchers wondering if you're going.
To Vivian's event,
Mhm.
yes, I am playing in the singles in the ladies division, and I'm also playing in the doubles with another legend of our game, Mr. Earl Strickland, and
Oh,
I will be
wow.
playing doubles together.
Wow.
Yepper.
I'd like to put some mics on you guys for
No
that one if
kidding.
possible.
That would be fun.
Earl and Ava, quite the duo that would be.
You know, we're always looking for some good video and audio content.
Oh my, maybe not this one.
Have you ever played with Earl?
Actually, I have. He
Have
owes
you?
me one.
Okay.
Yeah, he said that too. He said we got to do this. I owe you
Okay.
one. So yeah.
So you can kind of keep him
No.
focused? Is that the right way to say it? Focused?
That's one way.
Yeah.
That'll be his job to keep himself focused.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. So is that
We'll have
similar
fun.
to our doubles? Is that an alternate shot?
We'll
or-
have fun. Scotch doubles
Cool.
like we play. Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be very exciting.
Yeah, that'll be a fun event. So it's women's, men's, and then the Scotch doubles, Jack and Jill mixed doubles. It'll be great. I'm sure that will be live streamed too. I don't know the details, but I think it's the TexasTornado.com or something like that if you want to check it out. They also have an amateur event, and I believe that there's quite a few of the APA players from down there that are going to go play in it as well and give it a shot.
Brian continuing to kind of pick away again at this end of the table where the vast majority of the balls have decided to reside. Brian shooting the stripe balls.
He should be able to go right into, if he can really focused on right on the 5. If he can go get a solid hit on the 5, should have a shot at this 12 ball. Just a little bit of just below center. Nice little punch shot to right into the 5. Perfect.
Oh.
Except
Yeah, so he
tied up
pockets
another
the,
one.
Yeah, he pockets the 15, but he ties himself up a little bit there with the 14 and the 13. Looks like he can get a clean hit, but I don't know that he's got much of a shot.
Well, he will be able to, for sure, break them open. The question is he going to get stuck behind all these balls if he does? Because the 9 ball is obviously open, but he has to make sure he gets a clean path to there, so...
Somebody commented, they said Ava and Earl, they want to see Ava and Earl versus Shane and Jeanette.
There you go.
Is that a potential matchup? I don't know who else is
Could
in
be.
it, but...
I don't think Jeanette's going.
No.
She told me she wasn't going to
Yeah.
go, so...
Well, I know she's busy. Of course, she's now, like you, running a league there and down in Tampa, Florida.
And that first year of
focusing on
running
that.
a league...
It's a learning curve, isn't it?
Oh, my.
Yeah, that's quite the learning curve.
My husband had to talk me down from the ledge a few times before I got the hang of everything.
People just don't realize what goes into
No,
it, you know.
no,
and
no.
A lot of our league operators are so good at what they do, they just make it look way
Yeah.
easier
Right.
I'm
than it
glad-
is. There's a
I'm
lot
glad
behind the scenes.
that I didn't know how much was worth, because I wouldn't have done it, to tell you the truth, had I known how much. But I'm glad I did, because now I love it. But
Oh.
I don't think
wow.
anybody knows when you first take over. You have no idea what you just got, especially as if you're not familiar with the league itself.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I know billiards, I know pool, but I didn't know the league system. So every question I had to just let people leave a question on the answering machine, because I was afraid I knew I wouldn't know the answer.
Yeah.
I could read that rule book
Yeah.
20 times in a row, I still wouldn't. Oh,
It's a
it was
big
terrible.
rule book. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not... Sometimes we all have to refer back to the rule book because there are so many, and sometimes certain instances, rare instances that come up and things like that. So
Clearly, all 3 of us were insecure about that two getting 2 timeouts.
I wasn't that insecure, but
Okay,
you
so
know.
so
but
you're
I'm
just
probably
weak?
the I'm
You're
probably
just
the
saying
le-
you're weak.
I'm probably the least of the 3 of us on as a rules expert. So, but that one I thought I knew, only because of our opening screen.
Yeah,
It mentioned
yeah.
1 timeout per. See.
Anytime
know
he sounds
some
very
rules.
confident about the rules,
Yeah.
it does make everybody else nervous.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll see what he's going to do here with that 2 ball being there. He drifted too far with the cue ball.
Yes,
he
he
wanted to do
did.
just that, but wanted to put the cue ball behind the 14.
Wow. That is an understatement.
Somebody asking about APA in Boulder, Colorado. I'm not sure who's in Boulder, Colorado for us.
It's Kevin Lavonin.
Kevin, so what? 100 teams or so?
I
there?
believe we're around 120, 130 teams.
Yeah. Of course, Kevin, league operator originally in New Jersey for us and relocated out to Boulder.
All right, this tester here.
Opportunity here for Jeremy as he's going to mark his pocket.
This would be pretty big, because having Brian be a 6 and getting even to where both needed 2, that's feels like a lot more
Right.
uphill here than getting back to where it's even according to skill level, and he
Very
did.
nice
Nice
shot by
shot.
Jeremy. There was a lot of green there, and he handled it well. He is now on the board, and we are tied at 1 game apiece. For Jeremy, though, the difference being he needs only 2 more games here, whereas Brian's still needing 4. So what has been a seesaw battle here in the finals continues into the 5th and final match.
You like them when they go this. I mean, that's a good match. When anything could have happened.
Would not surprise me if we see a hill match here. Just kind of the way this, not just this final, but really the entire final day. You know, we had some tight matches in the semifinals. Of course, that was one of the reasons we got started late with the final, was the duration of those particular matches. So
Well,
a
those
lot
kind
on
of
the line and some close matches is a good thing.
those kind of matches are not just crowd pleasers, but they're also a tournament director and league operator dream
Yeah.
when they
Oh.
Well, you want
go
close
close
matches.
like that.
Always want close matches.
Could have been anybody.
All right, here we go. Great break. One ball goes in.
Well, he had some
And-
interesting movements there with his body for that break, didn't he? It was almost like,
The 1 and the 10 went in, so he's got open table here.
watch his movements here as we watch kind of a replay of his break. He's very animated in his, don't see it so much there, but you can kind of see off camera.
You can
He's
see
got
his knees
some
and-
interesting movements there.
Some body English.
Yeah. Well, whatever he did, it appeared to work pretty well.
Trying to figure out here. I don't-
Somebody referenced there, he said, like a ninja. I like that.
Well, that was the series of balls he wanted. I would think I
Nails
would
the
choose.
pocket to 4, so we'll see. So it is an open table still. He had one of both on the break.
Yeah.
So Brian will have the option here.
I still think I would take the solids here. You can see that 5 balls in a good spot right there. The 6 can be made. You just got to kind of pick off balls. So yeah, he's definitely going to stick with the solids.
So Brian pockets the 4. He will take the solids, the low numbered balls.
Moving over to the 2.
Puts the 2 in the side pocket.
All right, so here's the shot right here. He's getting position and shoot the 3 ball all the way down. He's looking at that. And from there, he could, if he gets straight in on this 3 ball, he can play the 6 in the side, the 5 in the corner, and the 8's wide open. So this is a chance for him to run out here.
So looks like some folks down at the daiquiri stop in Hanaran, Louisiana, tuning in, supporting the team of Make It Work.
Brian forgot to draw his ball there.
Mm.
And now he can't really play the 3 ball because then he would be flirting with the 8 ball moving around. So I don't know what he's going to do here. If he can cut the backwards cut on the 5, like he's going to have to do that. A little right spin, help spinning it in, and at the same time the cue ball go up. No, he decided to play defensive.
That'll allow Jeremy a return to the table. Like
It was-
lots of folks rooting for the New Orleans team here for whatever reason. Kind of interesting to see who they're supporting here. If you're tuning in, curious to hear who you're rooting for here in this 5th and final match. Jeremy pockets the 13 in the corner.
He's just got the 15 ball against. Well, and the 8, but I mean everything else is open. And he came out too far to be able to do anything with the 15 at this point, so.
Pockets the 14 there in the side. Boy, a lot of folks. NOLA.
Yep.
Lots of folks in the New Orleans area tuning in. We appreciate them watching, as well as all of our viewers here. This
Good
5th
try.
and final match.
was a good try, but now he kind of got himself in a mess here. 3-ball blocked the 11. I'm sure he was planning on getting at least the 11 after the breaking those balls up. 12 balls obviously blocked, so he's got a really thin cut here if he's going to try to make this. You have to let the cue ball go. Nope, timeout.
So Jeremy's dad, Charles, who we saw in this last match, is going to come have a talk with his son a little bit about what he's seeing at the table here.
I do see that quite a bit too, that I feel that the coach sometimes takes the timeout too late. You also see it too early when it really doesn't matter. If you have two,
Right.
you know, lower skill level players playing, why take a timeout, you know, 3 balls into the game? But a lot of times I see them not take a timeout until a player's in trouble. But shot selection or a discussion before you get to where there's trouble, that's kind of where,
It's a key.
Yeah.
It really is.
yeah, it is.
When I first started playing, I remember my coach used to always stop. He'd say, "You want to talk?"
Uh-huh.
And I'd go, "Okay." He said, "What are you going to do?" And I'd tell him, and he said, "What are you going to do next?" And I'd look at him and say, "I'm a 2. We don't know where the cue ball's going to be." And he'd laugh, and
It's
then he'd
true.
tell me, "You don't want to shoot that ball," and explain why.
Right.
Kind of a nice message from Ron Bates. I don't know if you remember Ron from the wheelchair event back in
Yes.
April. He said he was able to go home and kind of watch the semifinal match, so he appreciated the fact that we were able to bring that to him. And of course, he says he'll be back next year
Good.
to regain his title.
Good, good,
We
good.
hope to see you again next year, Ron.
Well, meanwhile, that timeout sure worked because
Mm-hmm.
Brian has no shot here. And Jeremy was able to leave that 15 ball there as well.
All right, some folks at home rooting for the Believe the Hype team, too. Starting to see some folks from rooting for Indiana, Evansville to be specific.
You have to have some patience, you know, with 8-ball. I don't usually have enough patience. You know, I've played a lot of straight pulls, so there's a lot of safeties in that. And then the 9-ball and 10-ball have been the games on the Pro Tour for so long
Mm-hmm.
that now if I play games like 8-ball or play one pocket, or it's hard for me to do this. You know, play, it's smart, but it's kind of, I want to fire 'em up, all right, and I usually tend to take it, you know, take a flying shot at something a little sooner maybe than I should have. So I admire the patience that it takes to play a really good game of 8-ball. Again, especially on a smaller table where there's so much traffic that you have to play the smart shot.
Absolutely.
It's interesting to kind of look around the room and see some of these folks. Although they're right by the table, I'm looking at these two ladies here that are obviously tuning into the stream and listening. A mere 5 feet from the table itself.
Mhm.
Well, you know, when I came in, people were laughing at me as I walked down, but I walked down with my iPad and my buds in my
Watching.
ear,
Yeah,
listening.
watching all the
And
way.
it took me a little while when I got in to realize that y'all have a slight delay.
Oh, that's right, we do.
There's that short, just small, but yeah, it took me a minute
Just
because
a couple of seconds.
I'm
right?
thinking y'all are talking about something that happened already.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a slight delay.
Like me. Producer said safety delay is
Yeah.
there in case
Oh.
somebody does something dumb. And
There
I
you
said,
go.
like me? And he said, no, like pull the plug.
There we go.
All right,
So we've
this
got a bit of a safety battle that's ensued here, huh?
bit of a cat and mouse game,
Yeah.
huh?
Defense is such an incredibly important part of this game.
Yeah.
It always amazed me how some markets that really hadn't played competitively, you go into them and they think that defense is a bad thing. And it takes a little while before players realize how important, it's just like in any other sport, though. You
Yeah.
have to have a good offense game
course.
and a defensive game.
There's a now defunct and closed bar in South Carolina in our area that had teams out of there, and the owner of the bar used to have a tournament on Monday nights, and if you played a safety, he would throw you out. You were out. I never went, but I heard my players talking about it. I'm going, wow.
There's something to be
That's
said, I guess, for an all offense. That could be a fun
didn't
type
like-
of a little format.
Yeah,
but
no, he
Right.
didn't like
Not-
safeties.
but
Said you
not
were
for
just
a
nit.
regular
Yeah, no, he
way
didn't
of
like that.
play.
Right. Well, I think for the viewer, the spectator,
the old
it's
time.
always going to be offense. No matter what the sport is, people like to see offense. Baseball, football.
Right.
Rarely is it the defense that sells tickets, but it's still a vital part of the game, like you said.
If you love the game, you should appreciate this as much as you do, break and run. For the general audience, it's not as exciting, obviously, but.
Again, this is Brian Payne at the table, the team captain for Believe the Hype from Evansville. Some folks just now tuning in. You're seeing live coverage of the APA World Pool Championships from here in Las Vegas. The 5th and final championship decided over the last 10 days. Of course, that is the 8-ball World Championship, which you're now seeing. We have a team here from Evansville, Indiana, the team of Believe the Hype. And a team from Harahan, Louisiana, the team of Make It Work. Seeing Jeremy Bruno at the table currently.
Oh, that was close.
Failing to make contact.
And that should take care of this rack
That'll
right
give
here.
ball in hand
I sure would think so.
to Brian.
The only thing Brian has to pay attention to here, since he's got to play that combination, is to make sure that 6 ball doesn't drift over towards the stripe ball. But I think he can hit it straight on enough to avoid that. That's the only thing I can see going wrong here. You have to cheat the pocket a little bit. Hit it kind of straight on.
You can see he wants to get that cue ball position just right.
Yeah, no, you want to put it on the other side of the 8. Because if you put it on the other side of the 8 and you clip it in, the 6 ball's coming down, the cue ball will automatically go down in the rail and back up again.
It's interesting, I've noticed that towards the tail end of these matches we start to see a surge in viewership, so some questions kind of start coming up over and over again. This particular team you're seeing currently is the team of Believe the Hype from Evansville, Indiana. This is Brian Payne, their team captain at the table currently. Currently seated, Jeremy Bruno, the team Make It Work there from Louisiana. So the states of Indiana and Louisiana battling it out for the ultimate bragging rights. Not to mention 25,000,
Yeah, I was going to say,
some
there's
big
a little detail
trophies.
there.
some fame.
Huge bragging rights.
Yeah,
That money will disappear, and they'll never
yeah.
they'll never remember what they spent it on, but they'll remember how they earned that trophy.
True story.
The memory will never go away.
Well, Brian now on the 6 ball. Nice touch there.
And that should take care of that, and one
He'll mark his
game closer.
pocket. And he pockets the 8 ball, and he is now up 2-1. Again, Brian racing to 5, so still needing 3 games. Jeremy on the board with 1 win. Of course, he only needs to get to 3, so race to 2 for Jeremy. So this match is essentially now at a 3-2 race. Jeremy will rack 'em. Brian will take a seat momentarily. Now he's up and about. Guessing we'll see him grab a piece of chalk here. position the cue ball. Break here any moment. Gets
There
the
we go.
1
And the
the
6.
6 on the break. Good start for Brian.
Not much to work with though here. Might be up. No, can't see make the 2. Play a little defensive shot here using the 4 ball, I guess. About all he can do.
Ooh. I'm not sure I'd be real happy with that.
Well, it's not bad. He doesn't.
No, I
He
meant
didn't
if
leave
I was the
anything.
opponent.
Oh, you mean the opponent? Okay,
walking,
good.
walking up to the table right now, I'm not sure I would be
Yeah.
very happy with this shot.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. That was a good save.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy surveying the table.
Not really one he. Not really the best of shots, but he didn't really leave
Avoids-
anything.
Yeah,
but
avoids
he's.
giving up ball in hand. And
Yeah. I mean, Brian has the 2 ball in the side pocket with no problem. So he's looking. Be nice if he could just put a little left spin on that, come over for the 4. Or just hit it clean and go for the 7-5. I think I would go over and get the 4 out of there on that side and work on the other side. Everything kind of opened up with that 1 shot. And that was 2 balls made on, 2 solids made on the break, so.
somebody asking about the ball variety that we utilize. Of course, Aramith, one of our big sponsors and supporters, and what we believe to be the highest quality billiard balls. So, of course, that is who we use here for the APA championships.
Good shot. And as you can see, any choice, whether it goes for the combo now or the 3 ball, only have 4 balls left on the table besides the 8. And everything is open.
Brian with the combination there.
It's perfect. Just a little bump up here, straight
Now
up. Play the 3 in the side, 2 in the corner.
Takes care of the 7 ball. And as you said, now looks like he'll turn his attention on the 3 in the side pocket.
It's never the greatest thing in the world being on the rail, obviously, but he was more concerned about getting the correct angle than he was.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, do you see any real issues for him at this point?
No,
based on
but
his skill level?
no, he shouldn't have any.
Gets the 3 to go in the side. I'm assuming he's going to attempt the 4 in the corner here.
Yeah, and I'm
Just
sure
wants
he.
to make sure he leaves himself well on the 8.
Yeah, 8 in the side is good because he got so straight. He can't really get out for the 8 to play it in the corner. So short work of this 1 safety that went a little bit awry for Jeremy.
You see the you saw him stop and kind of take a second look and grimace a little bit at
He should
his
still be
position there.
okay.
But yeah, again, Brian's skill level 6.
It's not what he would have wanted, but
Right.
Yeah, just you got a little draw on that.
You see the overhead shot here to see what his line looks like on the 8 ball. So
Again, that doesn't look like it's too much of a cut, but it looks more in real life than it does on that overhead. There you go.
8 ball to drop. Brian now with 3-1 lead over Jeremy. And we now have a 2-2 race. Again, Brian needs 2 more games as a skill level 6. Jeremy still needing 2 games, so 2-2 race from here on out.
wow.
A little bit quicker rack there than the previous. Not much
Definitely.
defense there, mostly offense.
Every rack has its own life. huh?
Yeah.
Well, we're down to the last 2 games
This is it.
of the World 8-Ball Championships.
Brian with the break. Narrowly misses and scratching in the corner. I didn't
make
see.
anything, no?
Yeah, so it's dry break. Jeremy will have an open table here to work with. Looks like he's going to opt for the solid balls or the low numbered balls. Pockets the 4 in the corner. Now focusing up table in the corner pocket. Where he pockets the 3 ball and leaves himself a shot on the 1, but he's going to have to get over the top of what I believe is the 14 ball. Makes a good hit, but makes it interesting. You saw the referee come over and take a look. Now he focuses in on the, looks like the 6 ball there. Takes it down table into the corner pocket. Looks like Jeremy getting in a little bit of a rhythm. Again, big part of that is the position of the balls after the break.
He's got that shot at the 2. The thing is, he's going to have to put a little bit of draw unless he's got an angle on it. Then he can go down and back up again for the 7.
It's
Oh,
the
he's going
2
to play
ball
a 7 all
go.
the way down.
Oh, wow.
You know, forget. I always play on the 4.5 by 9 table, so you never really want to shoot the shot all the way down
Yeah.
Oh,
that
no.
direction.
Oh, no.
A lot of
So I'm
green,
try-
as
always,
they say,
I
right?
always forget about that, and then, yeah, and that's too much green.
And so what does he do, assuming he makes the 7? What does he got for the 5 ball back up table?
He's going to follow
Oh,
it all
wow,
the way
look at
up,
there.
make sure he gets a shot. That's a little farther than he wanted. Now he's going to have to let it go a little bit.
Next year they want a teleprompter and a replay on the stream, so we'll add that
Yeah,
to the
I want a
5
teleprompter too.
cameras and the
I don't know how
4-man
many.
team, yeah.
I don't know how many times I've said, yeah, we're gonna hit this, I mean that side rail, and
Yeah.
then
Teleprompter or telestrator, right? That's what
yeah,
you were.
They
You
want
had
a
to draw on the
telestrator.
screen
yeah,
and be able
we
to
don't need
show
a
it.
teleprompter.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I might need somebody to tell me what to say.
Boy, that'd
Oh.
be a lot of script to work through. Well, what do we at? 5 hours in this match? That's a lot of talking.
Good shot. He missed it on the pro side there, where he came out and blocked the pocket for the 14.
Just crossed over the 1,000 viewer mark here on the live stream. Again, if you're just tuning in, you're watching the finals of the APA 8-Ball World Championship here in Las Vegas. Looks like the player's getting a little tired himself.
It's been a long, long day.
Yeah, it has.
Oh. Ava is nicely reminding me to tell you folks back home who you are listening to. Of course, Ava Mattia Lawrence, Hall of Famer here in the booth. APA President Renee Lyle joining us, and I am your host, Jason Bowman.
I got yelled at. I took a quick break between the matches, and I got yelled at by our producers. They, you got to introduce and tell them who you are. So here I am.
So,
Going,
yeah,
hey, hey.
say who you are. Everybody knows who you are. It's the,
It's the rest of
Not
us in the room.
necessarily.
So, Ava, Renee, Jason. Right? We'll make it easy. Maybe name tags next year. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Little Ava. We got
Yeah.
little Ava.
Little Ava.
Yeah.
Little Ava lost her cue
Yeah.
stick there.
Careful there. Don't lose that.
We're getting a little slap happy in the booth, folks.
It's been a long.
Yeah,
We are
long
I
weeks.
believe, 5.5 hours into this particular match, so tend to get a little slap happy.
Here's your
Brian
safe
Payne
right
at the
there.
table.
Worst thing can happen to you is when the balls are open like this and you have one left and they have almost all of theirs, then it's going to be tough. It's an uphill battle.
They're suggesting bobblehead Ava should be a pocket marker, so a lot of interest in these. So Champion.
It's a good marker.
You got a Champion Billiards. They can order these.
Championship billiard
Championship
cloth.
billiards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're the
okay.
ones that.
Ever since we brought it on the stream, everybody said, "I want the bobblehead." So
And they proceeds from it go to the Billiard Education Foundation.
oh, that's
for-
great.
yeah,
that's great. So if you want an Ava bobblehead, there you go. Championship Billiards.
Yeah, somebody was asking about Fairy Larry. Well, that would actually be Harry the Pool Fairy.
Harry the Pool Fairy.
Wanting to know if he'd come to Louisville to help their matches not take quite so long.
Harry the Pool Fairy, a.k.a. Jake. I don't know if people make that connection when they see him in his tournament director role, do they?
Probably not.
Looks a
Probably
little
not.
bit different.
That is a dramatic alter ego.
Ava, they're saying you get finer with age. That's
Well,
kinda a
then
nice
whoever said
compliment.
that is my favorite.
There
then.
you go.
Mitch, are you online again?
That's Thomas Robinson.
All right, Thomas. I mean, thank you.
I'm thinking we could throw one of the sashes on you and you could walk around out there amongst the other. You see all the Mrs.
Oh, the
America
Miss
ladies?
American
And they actually wear their
contestants.
sashes around the casino so you can see where they're from. So,
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter because I don't do sashes
No.
anyway, so no. Do you, Renee?
how about tiaras? Tiaras? No,
Yeah, no,
tiaras, no
no.
sashes. Okay. All right then.
Well, tiara. I mean, if you want to call me queen, I'm fine with that, but Your Majesty, that's okay too. With no
There we go.
sashes.
Brian Payne's going to call a timeout here. He's going to confer with James Ruggiero, who we saw actually in the second match today. Fellow skill level 6 of Believe the Hype. Talking a little strategy here.
You know, it's interesting. Somebody just said that these matches should be played on 9-foot tables. But do you know how long it would take to set up 300 and almost 50 9-foot tables throughout this
Yeah.
venue?
I don't
And
know where I don't know
we
where you
wouldn't
get
have enough
I don't know where you
room.
get that
There
many
wouldn't be a
9-foot tables
place.
either.
Maybe the convention center would have a space big enough, but not only that, but
Yeah.
when majority of these of our leagues, vast majority of our
Play
leagues
on-
are
play
played
on
on
7-foot tables.
3.5
yeah.
by. So you know, whoever you were, you got voted down. Sorry, buddy.
Well, it's a
No,
nice
but
idea.
it
but
doesn't make any
yeah,
sense.
There's
Yeah.
only a handful of people in the country. Not a handful. There's a couple that can bring in 300 plus tables of any size, and
Right.
9-footers are one.
Well,
I don't know that there's that many, and two, logistically, the size of them and the setup of them is
Well, I think
far
back
more
to
challenging.
when we were a sponsor of the WPBA, you guys used to have like 12 tables set up for your event, and it would take a couple of days to get them set, and get
Mhm.
them level, and everything ready. Just 12.
And expensive
Mhm.
to drive around with them from place to place. So.
But yeah, they're when you look at, I mean, and we look at where does our play take place, and the very, very vast majority of our play takes place on these style tables.
Right. The valleys, the 7-footers.
Okay, so he's going to try a 3-ball combination here. He's going to really pay attention to where the 5 is going though, and where to clip it, because he doesn't want to just have the 5 stay right there. The 11 goes. He needs to get it out of the way to clear the pocket for the 14 and the 10. And at the same time, he needs to get a shot here after this. And it was just too much to think about. But a good accidental safety. He
Right.
even let out a giggle there.
Renee, you know the interesting thing though about the 9-foot tables, we do have one APA event that we produce, the U.S. Amateur Championship, that is played on 9-foot tables. So we do have one particular format, again, geared towards the higher end players. Of course, the preliminaries for those getting ready to start in mid-September. But if you're interested in playing with us and you're interested in play on 9-foot tables, check out the U.S. Amateur Championship. That may be the program for you. And of course, that's open not just to APA members, but non-members as well. Of course, APA members get a little bit of discount on the entry, but that is a event that is non-handicapped, played on 9-foot tables, and open to any amateur player that wants to enter.
There are actually, I believe, 2 or 3 venues that are smaller tables, but that is because those areas of the country, those preliminaries will take place on smaller tables, just
Right.
because we weren't getting much participation from those areas, and it was because they had to travel so far to play in one of the planned preliminaries. So we tested it last year and had good success attracting some more players from a particular area of the country by hosting a preliminary on bar
Right,
tables. But
pockets.
yeah, the championships are all on 9-foot for the U.S. Amateur, and it is great competition.
Oh yeah, if you want to see good pool, it's, you know, we kind of saw some of it yesterday with the Masters players. You'll see a lot of players that are in that U.S. Amateur circuit that also play in the Masters. Similar rules in terms of the combination 8-ball and 9-ball. You know, the jump shots and the jump cues and the non-handicapping. The difference really just being the size of the table and the team factor that goes with Masters. So
And you stream that for us as well. Not the
The US
same.
Amateur
We don't do it
Championship
quite
we
the same
do,
way,
yeah,
but
yeah.
we've been streaming that event
figure
for
out a
a
way
while.
to bring that to you, yeah. That'll be here in November in Tampa. It's Strokers. A lot of our higher end players probably familiar with the Strokers location down there. Jose and his crew always take very good care of us.
Yes, they do.
All right, Brian. Really good position here to just kind of float the cue ball up, play the 9-ball on the side. Oh, away from it a little bit. Well, he still can cut it into the side pocket and just come down to the bottom cushion and back out for the 10.
Somebody's asking about, I guess their APA league does have 9-foot tables, and again, some areas do. I know Richmond in particular is an area that has some 9-foot tables. I think Raleigh's another
Charlotte,
area.
Raleigh,
Seems like some of the North
down in
Carolina.
Florida. I've
But we
seen
do
them.
have there is a factor within the handicapping, right, that kind of takes into account the size of the tables.
Yes, we actually have a factor that we put into our handicap system depending on whatever size table they play on,
Right.
whether if it's a 7-foot, if it's an 8-foot, and we take into consideration whether they're bar boxes or drop tables, drop pockets.
Yeah, so don't worry, we know you're playing on 9-foots or 7-foots and factor accordingly. Nice shot there by Brian. It's a 9 in the corner.
Banked that one in. He played it. He had a much easier shot in the side pocket, but he chose to play it in the corner so that in case he missed it, he would not have left anything on the 5-ball for Jeremy. So the shot was made. Got a position here on the 10-ball and just got to draw this back up for the 8 and put himself on the hill here.
Really impressed by Brian here. You know, team captain, has the longer race here. Obviously taking a lot of pressure on his shoulders and performing like we would expect a 6 to perform, so kudos to him.
Well, and now that we think about it, that last match, I mean, he I didn't realize he was
Pockets the 8-ball. He is now on the hill.
I didn't realize he was the captain earlier when we were talking about
Right.
the strategies of why they chose to put their 2 up.
Right.
But that's probably part of it. Is
Right.
he was sitting there thinking, I'm the one who needs to step up
And
and
I'll
take that
close
5th
it.
match.
Right.
Well, and
I'll
what's
close it
interesting
out.
is I believe, so in that last match was Gina think that's Brian's sister.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, she came up a little short. Big brother's trying to pick it up and make sure that they're all going to go home happy one way or another. So,
And like I said, it's the science
Yeah.
to put up the right way and kind of put high against low, so you can put low against high and just kind of play around with it, where you're a well-rounded team all the way around and
right.
play the numbers. And
So Brian Payne is now on the hill. Needs just one game to bring that championship trophy back to Evansville, Indiana. He's going to have Jeremy take a look at the rack real quick. He sees maybe some gaps.
Yeah,
or
the one ball
spaces he's
fell
not
off.
real happy about.
I think the one ball fell off when Jeremy was finished and went to sit down. And again, it's so important that the top three in particular, but obviously you want all of them to be touching, but for the top three to be frozen so you don't get that dud rack.
Somebody's asking Jason about the overall score.
Overall score here is 6-5 currently. Believe the hype leading 6-5, but essentially based on the way the 3-point scoring breaks down, the winner of this match is going to win the overall match.
Oh, that 8 ball
Barely
is
missed the 8.
Wow.
almost scratched as well.
You hear the crowd come alive a little bit with the oohs and the ahs. Surprised we've had such a nice crowd kind of hanging on, wanting to see how this how the script ends here, if you will.
I'll tell you what here, guys. I think Brian has a run out here. The 10 goes to 11, the 15, the 9, the 13, and the 14. This is all about cue ball control here. Unless, what? Okay, now I'm confused. I thought he, 1, 2, 3. Oh, this was a, I didn't see that that was a stripe ball.
Oh, you
I
missed
thought
that
was
one.
a solid, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that comment. I don't know anything about pool, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Such a witty audience we have out there.
Wow. I wish I
Some
could see that
fairly
screen.
amusing
I'm
comments
missing
that
it all.
that I can't share necessarily, but
I
I'm
had to pull
missing
my-
it all over
I had
there.
to pull my glasses out because
Yeah.
my eyes I kept squinting every time I looked down.
you folks back home tuning in and commenting, you're helping to make it more lively for us here in the commentating booth, so we appreciate that.
Mm. Wow. Well, I guess you can see the. I can't. I can see a couple of balls. Never mind.
3-5 combo, which is not
Mhm.
easy. And the way he has been playing defensively, not sure that he would go for it, but it's very makeable, more so than it looks on the overhead. Oh, and he's got the 2 ball on the side. The 4 ball.
The 4 ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
Another question about the home state of these two teams. Of course, Brian Payne here at the table and his team from Evansville, Indiana. Their opponents make it work from Harahan, Louisiana. So we have Indiana and Louisiana here in the final round of the 8-Ball World Championships. Probably some folks in both of those towns tuning in, rooting on their hometown team. I was looking to see back home, it looks like, of course we mentioned the Daiquiri stop where the Louisiana team plays for that we all wish we were at the moment, or shortly thereafter the tournament ends. And the team from Evansville plays out of Bob's Lounge.
I have a feeling that there's a few people watching at those two if they're streaming it.
Yeah. I know back in St. Louis we had The St. Louis APA had some folks getting together there,
We've
celebrating a particular member's birthday while they tuned into to the finals. So
I think we've gone beyond.
might be bedtime there, though.
It might be getting close to some people's
Close
bedtime.
to midnight back in St. Louis.
Well, I know when we had our national champion. You know I have a national champion, right? Did you know that, Renee?
Yeah.
Yes.
Juniors.
Yes, in the juniors.
Austin Lee. Shout out to Austin, yeah, who won the national championship skill level 4. It was so exciting, and they had hooked up Facebook onto the big TV in the pool room there, so there was a whole bunch of
awesome.
people rooting,
Yeah.
and it was
That
great.
is
Very
so cool.
experience.
And I had one of those ridiculous phone bills because I streamed. I was in Charlotte and I was driving home while Mitchell was driving. And I was
You're
streaming
watching
and
it
I'm
as you're
watching it the
driving?
whole way.
Yeah.
That's what I get for not getting the unlimited plan. All right, as we're
Folks in orange.
entertaining ourselves here, this is looking like there's 3 balls away from this
Wow.
being over.
3 balls
Wow,
away
wow,
from
wow.
the end
2
of it all,
balls,
huh?
6 and 8. Everything's by the pocket.
All right, buckle up, folks.
And it's starting to look like Make It Work is going to have to be happy with the runner-up, which
Yeah.
is unbelievable in a field of 713
713,
teams.
yeah, it
I mean,
is.
it's incredible.
Yeah, and that's, it's
And
like-
that's just the teams that were here. I mean, you got to think about,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
had to work hard to
Yeah.
get here to
Yeah.
begin with, whatever market they came from.
So he gets the 2,
Oh.
but he
Oh,
scratches in the side
I
pocket.
had to say
Wow.
that, didn't I? I apologize to everyone. I apologize to everyone that is rooting for Brian here, and I guess you're welcome to everybody that is
There you
rooting
go,
for
yeah.
Jeremy, because
Yeah.
I've done that before, and I thought
Still a
that
ways
this
to go
time
here, yeah, but
there was no way he wasn't going to run
a
out
bit of
there.
a
but-
mistake.
Wow.
Somebody comment on there a moment ago from Orange County. Of course, we had a team yesterday from Orange County, the team of We Are Done, that took home the Masters Championship. That was an outstanding match yesterday, capped off with 2 9 on the snaps to end it, so it was quite the exciting finish in that one.
I was going to say, I'm trying to figure out what he's doing here, so coach is coming up to put it into this move, I think. I think the reason he's looking at it is because he doesn't want to go all the way down with it, I guess, and he's trying to play it off the 6. But that could be bad because the ball can kind of get stuck there. And instead he's going to have him take the one ball that it only has one pocket, get that out of the way. This way he can drift the cue ball up to play then one of the balls on the side rail over here. There's some nerves going on right now on both sides of the room. Both teams are nice.
Jeremy pockets the 14 in the corner.
See Jana over there, she was looking up. She's not even watching. She was in the background in the shot a minute ago, and she's looking straight up in the
Mm-hmm.
ceiling. Well, she's watching.
She
up
might have
there,
been the
isn't she?
screen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. They have the big screen up there. Keep forgetting that.
There's a lot of players that are sitting there just staring up at the
Yeah.
wall instead of
It looks like
watching
they're
the pool
just
table.
looking into space, but that's right. All right. Good shot. Jeremy with a completely open table now. See what he can do here. Oh, he
Oh.
overcut it.
That may
That may.
prove
Well,
to be...
don't say that.
Yeah, never mind. Scratch that. Brian back at the table with what looks to be a makeable shot. Is that
It does.
acceptable? On the
Okay.
6 ball on the
Yes.
side. We shall see, though. Nothing is a given at this point, particularly with the the stakes here in this final match.
There's some nerves here.
The very soft
Oh
laid
my,
pockets,
oh my, he almost got
the
snookered.
6 in the side.
He almost could have snookered himself there.
Clears the 11 ever so slightly. Grab his pocket marker. He will put it on the corner pocket. And will attempt to close out the final.
And there you have it.
That's it.
Your 2016 8-Ball World Champions from Evansville, Indiana, the team of Believe the Hype. Folks, in just a couple of minutes here, we are going to award both of these outstanding teams for their great performances here at the World Championships. We do invite you guys to stick around, help us congratulate them again. That'll be here in just a couple of minutes.
All right, folks. Well, you've seen it here live. That's a wrap from the APA World Pool Championships. We want to congratulate the team of Believe the Hype from Evansville, Indiana, and of course the runners-up,